Howdy everyone, welcome back to more for Silent Hill F, the journey for the true ending. I'm the Black Shadow, and it's been a moment just flicking through the journal a little bit, kind of going back through some other things that we've learned and how it relates to the journal now. We are here at the main hall, where normally Hinako would go through the 3 rituals to become the what she is now. But that's already happened, which means things could probably be very different from here onwards. But yeah, just fascinating looking through as well, like Junko, and the whole, like, was the happiest thing for Hinako until she went off to get married, which had been basically determined, and that's the whole, independence sort of thing. And then I just happened to go back onto Hinako's own page. Me. There's not a single extraordinary thing about me. Funnily enough, that might well not be true. Regardless, we're already here, ready to go exploring. So a reminder, there are a variety of abilities that we can do around here, and things that we can access as we go. In areas we can explore, the more that we manage to get hold of different powers and let us do stuff. So, for example, there are these walls here with like the with these stuff on them. Well, if we go into focus mode, we can make those disappear, stuff like that.
For the longest time, but I am now more certain of my path.
So, assumably, we don't actually have to do any of the rituals because we've already done them. So, in theory, we could probably just leave, right? But I'm not sure that's something that we'd actually want to do. I don't think. Withstand the ceremony of welcome, and Hinako shall be born anew with blinding beauty. Ancestral spirits of the Tsuneki, who by order of the Kudzunomiya in heaven's benediction dwell, offer unto Hinako thy words of celebration, for she has completed this ritual. And I think that confirms it right there. That is Kodayuki is Fox Mask. I think that pretty much confirms that as far as that document's concerned. Which we'd already kind of sussed out a little while ago. It makes sense. As far as faith-wise, we do have 2 more. We've got another one with Ema, which I do need to look to use. We're going to have to get hold of more faith to do so. We'll find stuff to offer, I'm fairly sure. Didn't we do that? But yeah, so these doors can be open because we've got the Hex Seal. We're going to need to go to war a lot around here. Which is going to be largely my problem. I don't need to show you a whole lot of this stuff. Yes, there's another document down here. And then you've got these doors here, which we can now open because we have the arm, which gives us the strength to lift those up there. The seal shall mark thee as our own, proof of thine own sacrifice of body and spirit. Be thou awake or hidden in sweet slumber, joyous shalt thou be to serve. Even when flesh has rotted away and bone turned to dust, so thou shalt serve. So yeah, it's a case of exploring and kind of seeing what the deal is. So yeah, we would normally just literally focus this after doing the 3 rituals, and that's the way to get out of here. But I feel like there's gotta be more to this location than just that, especially now that we have all this access, and we are probably encouraged to go exploring and see what's going on around here. Now, there are a variety of areas that you are able to access as you go, as you are able to use the various powers to get access. So this is going back to one of the rituals, but going like backwards here, actually. I don't even know if the game's going to let me do this. Apparently so. But yeah, none of the ritual stuff itself is going to happen because we've already done it. So it's a case of just exploring around, seeing what we can come across, and you know, kind of just see more and find stuff. Like, I think that's what we got to do. I think there's a good chance here of finding things that we require. We still, as well, have yet to find the damn the Agura medical infusion with a deep red color. And we need this to be a part of one of the endings. And I think that's how we use to get hold. We use that along with the Sacred Sword. But where exactly that is another question. But it is also worth visiting these ritual areas just because they do have a lot of very juicy items with them. And as such, we should probably go exploring, even just for myself's sake.
So majestic, this place.
Oh boy. Oh boy. But yeah, actually navigating around here will be a little tricky, probably. Oh, yeah, I know where we are. So this is upstairs. It's just weird. Like, I'm going backwards through this area, and that's what's really confusing me. Really confusing me. You're not meant to go this way around the place, so I'm like, it is causing a lot of confusion. Huh. Did I never come back here? Maybe I never did in the first run. There's definitely an EMA for our troubles. And lots of prizes. Maybe I came back here and just missed the EMA. Those definitely don't respawn. Ah, more the physician's log. And I think I know who this is talking about now. It's a miracle. How could this be? The two daughters' symptoms have improved dramatically. Both patients have made a full recovery. I do not understand this one bit. Could this be a phenomenon that cannot be explained through scientific means? There exists no record in any literature of a disease or toxin that could lead to such a cruel illness. Such a dramatic recovery as the two daughters experienced has likewise never been documented. Now the housemaids are whispering about a supposed curse. Yet I can no longer chide them and insist science can prove all. It is very possible there is just stuff. There are some of these, like, these side rooms. And it's very possible that I did miss some documents and stuff the first time around. But, I mean, can you blame me? This place is, like, huge and there's a lot of things trying to kill you. Like, it's difficult. It's difficult. 1,300 of items worth of faith. That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. Sure. More stamina for the time being. More stamina is always good. Always, always good. That physically can't go any further either. Damn. Impressive. The heck am I? Oh, right, okay, yeah, I've just been wandering around a little bit, sort of semi-randomly. I know where we are now. So this is after, yeah, you get the branding, and that's the exit out. But instead of going out, there is, I remember this, yeah. Up here, there was like this, this top route, which kind of went a distance, but never really went anywhere from that. Oh, yeah! I don't remember that having a seal on it by the end, by the way. We're going to need to go to war. Go get him! Yep! Jeez. Oh, you're gonna pay for that one. Jeez. Yeah. This area was not the most pleasant when I came up here in the first game. It certainly didn't have all that levels of shit. Jeez. But I think it's important that we did come here. Because amongst all the items and the things I can't take... Let me just, not for that, for that. I don't remember this being here. And we certainly couldn't get in here without the pin anyways. Drop the, Aurora, it's fine. Where does this lead? What's this? It looks awesome. Like, really awesome, but... Upon the rock, our ancestors built a shrine, naming it Heaven's Benediction, so it could serve as a sanctuary for our clan. When Heaven's Benediction falls, the wrath of the depths shall rage against the heavens themselves, and both man and land shall face calamity. When that time comes, the glory of Higa's gods shall wane, heralding to the end of our clan. It is the duty of our family's head to ensure that Heaven's benediction will prosper for generations to come. It is the fate of our family's head that he shall prevent calamity from ever arising. Okay, let me... So we're sure that Koyuki is Foxmask, right? I'm pretty convinced that's the case. And that he is basically the head of this clan. We've seen documentation about this before. The Wrath of the Depths is probably referring to the head of Orochi, and the original evil that kind of plagued this land. The Tsukumogami faith basically became resistance against that, but eventually that sort of fell apart and the Inari became the new worshippers. Is it possible then that the Inari kind of basically ended up usurping that position as well? And that that faith is effectively what is being used to try and resist the evil, but in doing so has become its own sort of plague. And does that mean that Koryuki and Foxmask, is he doing all this in some attempt to stop this happening? Doesn't sound quite right, but I feel like it's kind of ish. There's some logic. He who seeks the crimson water, hello, which banishes evil. When the Shishi Odoshi strikes once, let the bell chime. Thrice shall the bells ring to speak the legends of this land. Trapped under a great stone, the lake's abyss, lies a slumbering water dragon, born during the age of gods and sealed away by our ancestors. Deprived of the water dragon's spirit, the once lush great tree has met a withering fate. And And that is the last puzzle. Okay. So that's what the bells are here. We've got to ring the bells when we hear the wood strike. But the second part is also interesting. Trapped under a great stone in the lake's abyss lies a giant water dragon, sealed away, the gods said Baranshas. Yeah. Deprived of the water dragon's spirit, the once lush great tree has met a withering fate. That must be referring to the divine tree. Okay. How am I going to time this? How do I know if I've done it right? And there's a lot of these bells too, actually. One over there, one there. There's one up here. I might also need to work out what bells I've got to use too. One there as well. Okay, there's more to this puzzle than meets the eye. We need to have a look around here. Hotai Sama. A medicine bottle with Hotai Sama the monk engraved on it. Contains a red liquid. In ancient times, where people believed fevers were the result of this demonic possession, this infusion was considered a miracle cure that was capable of dispelling evil spirits. The original formulation has been lost to time. Historical documents indicate that it took an extraordinary amount of time and effort to prepare. Well, we've got it. We have our bottle. The Agura no Hotai Sama. We have it. That is one part of the endings. But that still leaves what all this stuff is. Another email there, by the way. I will go back in there in a moment. Don't worry, I'm just looking back, looking around just for a second here. Let's read the documentation. It might give you more of an idea. And relating to this. This is like one of those purifying things. The baths. We've seen those before. Agura no Hotai Sama bestows onto us the blessing of crimson water. This blessing can be found deep beneath the sacred mountain, where spring water pools to infuse with herbs. Its medicinal properties, unlike any other, are the bounty of many moons of steeping. The power imbued to the crimson water shall eradicate even the most wicked evil. But beware, for its frightful potency makes it unsuitable for the purification of mortals. Only for the excision of ancient evil shall it be used. According to the writings of the Awai family, whose members have served the people of Ebisugaoka as physicians for generations, only infusions prepared using the traditional method can truly be called Agura no Hotai. Anything bearing the name in the modern day is merely snake oil. True infusions are said to be a double-edged sword, both a miraculous elixir and a dangerous poison. That is, if one harbours any guilt inside their hearts, then not only shall the infusion cleanse you of any spirits, but it will also destroy your very self from the inside out. That sounds, moderately concerning, I would suggest. I think, I think moderately concerning is a good answer for that. What's this? And yet, our mortal world is ever changing. The age of gods has passed, and the power of heaven has withered. Such a living sacrifice may no longer suffice to quell the wrath of the deep. So our ancestors saw fit to place a seal of immense power upon the being below. Upon the water they set a great stone. Now the being remains sealed away, unable to break free of its prison. However, earth cannot endure forever against the might of water. As its power wanes, the seal shall break. When the wrath rises once more, we shall be powerless to stop it. That sounds pretty bad. Okay, so we've got the bottle, which means we could probably just go. But clearly there is a puzzle to be done here. And I think this is to do with, like, how we purify the sword. I think what we're meant to do is get the sword from the tree. And I think that's meant to resemble back in Ebisuga Oka, which I don't know if I can get to. I can't. There is a pool that you can find very late in the game that we could inspect. And I bet you take the sword there to purify it. And we've got to make it, we've got to do the stuff with the tank now so that when we get there we can do the job. So we need to solve this puzzle to purify the sword. But I've got to work out which one of these I do it. Let's have a read of this again. When the Shishori strikes once, let the bell chime. Thrice shall the bells spring to speak the legends of this land. Trapped under a great stone in the lake's abyss lies a slumbering water dragon, born in the age of gods and sealed away by our ancestors. Deprived of the water dragon's spirit, the once lush great tree has met a withering fate. Okay, I need to look at these things. So what we got here? So that's waves like water, right? What else have we got here? We've got that's clearly resembles fire. We've got a mountain. That could be earth. Potentially, would be my guess. I do not know what that is. Like a crown? And that I don't know what that is either. Looks like a leaf or a tree of some kind? Let me read this again. Hold on. Under a great stone in the water dragon. By the water dragon spirit, the once lush great tree is moving fate. Is that an order? Stone. Great stone, like a mountain. Water's right next to us. I've got an idea. I guess we've got to do it so it hits about the same time as this. There's a small visual cue from up here. Let me see if I can time this. Oh shit, I gotta be next to it, sorry. don't know if that means I've done it right or wrong or what. I couldn't have been any more in tune. If the logic is right, it would be this first. Let's just go with this for now. Under a great stone there lied a water dragon. Which is this, right? I feel like this makes sense. And then, deprive the water dragon's spirit, a lunch lush great tree. Which isn't going to be that. It ain't going to be that. So it's got to be this, right? I guess it's meant to represent air, maybe, is what that one's meant to be. I think that worked. I think this will change once it is working. Like, this seems sort of logical, right? Right? I feel like this makes a degree of sense. Am I wrong? There's no real visual confirmation what I'm doing is the right idea, but I feel like this makes sense. Like, some of the bell hits seem a little different. And I don't think it's the case I've got to do it, like, one per bell, because I can't really get up and down here fast enough. I just feel like this makes sense. Leaf tree? Maybe I'm misreading this. So I'm reading this again, and I feel like this is the correct order of things. I don't see what else I could do. When the Odie strikes once, let the bell chime. So maybe what I'm meant to do is not ring it as it's hitting, but to do it afterwards. And that would make sense. Then I had enough time to get down here in time. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. I don't need to be doing it when it hits. I need to do one per hit, if that makes sense. So don't do this straight away, but it just hit and then do it afterwards, then run down, and then tring the other one before it hits again. So now I'm on a time limit. So that's the hit. So ring this. And then hit this one after it hits again. I think that's what I was doing wrong. Which makes sense. Whoa. Whoa. That worked. That's what I was doing wrong. I got the timings incorrect. And that means if I come up here... Yep. The bath is now red. Which means we can get the sword... and we can purify it at the other shrine back in town. I think that makes a reasonable amount of sense. The last record of a true Agura no Hotai-sama being administered in Ebisugaoka was around the time that the shrine's divine tree fell a lightning strike. According to historical records, it was decided that in order to protect against such misfortune from befalling the shrine again, an Inari statue would be enshrined as a divine object. The Iwai family sprinkled the statue with reverend medicine to cleanse it of any impurities. It is said that the Inari statue's bowl miraculously filled with a red liquid resembling Agura no Hotai-sama, and ever since, any villagers who drank it were cured of their illnesses. Evil spirits, huh? I have a thought on that, but I'm gonna wait for when we get the sword, and I'm gonna discuss that further. But yeah, interesting place, interesting puzzle.